part of this universe, the Lord of the universe is your Lord. He can't be separate. Samad well. And then the third one says, لَن نَدْعُوَ مِن دُونِهِ إِلَهًا. We will never call upon anyone else other than Him. لَقَدْ قُلْنَا. If we do so, then we are fabricating falsehood. Alright, now imagine somebody stood up, this is something shocking, in front of the Ummah, in front of the whole nations, and started addressing them in a very nice way. They say, we belong to this earth, to this heaven, to this universe. And the Lord of it is our Lord, and we are going to be consistent. Call only upon Him. Then next one, what they say? Then قال هؤلاء قوم اتخذوا من دونه آلهة. See, this is the best part. They say, this our people have taken other Lord other than Allah. Alright? Shouldn't they think to bring proofs of their claim? Okay, now, did they say, you? And that's what the word here says. That's why, say for instances, read that one. For instance.
Oh, for instance, a speaker who rocks back and forth during his delivery exhibits lack of confidence, and a speaker who makes offensive gestures. Offensive
gestures. If you say you, and you point, that is bad. You people come late to Salah. Though he's saying the truth. You people miss Jum'ah. If you do that, you are not, Islamically you can't do that. Look at these people. I mean, their nation is kafir and committed all bad things. But they say, our people have taken God other than Allah, the Lord of heaven and earth.
So is it bad to say, like, for example, you need to motivate yourself to read the Quran?
Right. No, not that. Never, they never use you. Never. Say we, listen to this. If we have taken God other than Him, we committed fabrication. They are a believer. They are not going to take it. They have not taken it. But given examples, instead of you take a Lord other than God, you're going to go to hell. They say, no, if we, though they don't, and they will never do it, because they are already amal with the first quality of them. So instead of saying, if you, they said, if we. And if you, when you read the story, there is nowhere where they say you. Never. If they have to be example, they say, if we. So, one of these bad things, totally, basically you never been used. Even the Prophet never used you. Because you separate yourself. And you think you are different. Or a good way. So that is, speaker makes offensive gestures will be perceived as arrogant, distasteful, or disrespectful. And so basically what we need, never to use you. And Quran, Sunnah, and good speaks, don't use you. And next one, last one.
The audience reads the body language of the speaker from the facial expressions, posture, and hand gestures. The Prophet Muhammad ﷺ used his hands to illustrate his point, but scantily and not vigorously.
Yeah, what is that? Can you show me? Can you reenact this one?
Like this, not like pointing.
Okay, that's it. Not vigorously. Or,
Yeah.
okay, in a gentle way, okay?
Today, communication experts tell us that vigorous hand movements can be very distracting. However, when movements are used specifically to make a point, they are very effective. Examples of effective hand movements are raising a fist, signifying solidarity, and using fingers.
We got to be together like this. Alright, okay.
However, it is advisable that the speaker places hands loosely together in front of him. When the khatib uses index cards for notes, then he holds the notes in front of him.
Is this the sunnah that Prophet used to use his shahada finger?
To point, yes.
During his
In many occasions, not just khutbah. Yes.
What?
If he is going to mention Allah or Shahada, is to point with the finger upward to the head, like that. Allah is the one who is going to take our soul. Allah is the one who is going to judge us. But never like it. Yeah. Okay.
Eye contact. Trust in the eyes. Always look straight ahead without hesitation. Maintain eye contact for several seconds with each listener.
Hold that, say that again.
Maintain eye contact for several seconds.
This
with
is a
each
problem. Sometimes you make a problem with your audience. You look, and the minute they look at you, you moved it, they think there's something wrong with me. And they start taking the whole issue is personal. Okay, go ahead.
Avoid quick shifts which might leave a negative impression.
Quick shift. Well, if you like, look. And actually, our Prophet used to look for a while with them. And if they smile, he can smile from the member to them, as reciprocating and greeting to make them feel they are in your attention. But the minute you look, well, what's wrong? Go ahead.
Make eye contact with different portions of the audience so that no one feels left out.
Right. Okay.
Voice. The voice is the principal instrument used to convey a message. It has an infinite variety of pitches, levels, and tones. The khatib needs to train himself on its control. Using high-level and high-pitched speech can be annoying and distracting. On the other hand, using low-pitch and low-level speech can be monotonous and boring.
And you get to train yourself because it's very difficult. People always, they have some comfortable zone, they just go with it, which is not good. If you're going to give khatib, you have to change the tone according to what is the situation or the idea.
Public speaking is most effective when the voice is kept at a moderate and normal level. Shouting can be very distracting, especially when it is unnecessary. The khatib's voice is an important element of his khutbah. It can tremendously aid in keeping the congregation's attention and interest and in making the khutbah effective and memorable. The minbar. Why is he shouting? Some khatibs seem to feel that shouting is a requirement for the khutbah. With a microphone or even without it, if the audience is small, there is no need whatsoever to shout. The shouting is the emotional khatib. He has to be emotional to maintain his shouting. The higher the volume of the voice, the less attention the audience pays.
Say that again.
The higher the volume of the voice, the less attention the audience has.
You really send them to sleep. If you keep this high voice, you never take a low, quiet, and smooth voice. Basically, you bombard them. They just shut down their brain. Okay.
Throughout the khutbah, people will wonder what they did wrong to deserve being shouted. Performance, delivery, and diction. Pause. Pausing for a few seconds before you speak creates tension.
This is the best technique you can have, but you have to master it. Intentional purpose. After certain important idea, you pause. They start asking the question. They remember that idea and also what is next. Making expectation and basically they try to move ahead of you. But sometimes they get what? If you make it long, he's lost. Yeah.
During your pause, the congregation reaches its highest level of attentiveness. That will
It
work.
reach what?
Highest level of attentiveness.
If they pause at the right time, the right amount, this is the highest attention for all audience. Because they already used to you talking and doing, and then suddenly everybody, even the sleep one, will wake up. Yeah.
That will work to create momentum once you start.
Create what?
Momentum.
It's a real powerful means. But you have to basically map it where you are going to pause and how should the pause. Alright, this is the principle of khutbah. 3 R's.
Wait. The triple R approach. Rationality, respect, and relevance.
What does mean rationality?
Not being unreasonable. So
Okay, what does mean respect?
not disrespecting other people.
What does mean relevance?
Not talking about something that doesn't matter.
Okay, the khutbah, this is pillars and essence of khutbah. If it is not rational, I mean, it is not logic, it's just you basically throw ideas from here and there, and they are not connected. There are no introduction, body, conclusion, general purpose and specific purpose, and the central statement. If it is not that way, then basically are not doing it. And the second, disrespect. I mean, if you are disrespecting, and it happens, disrespect, it could happen, but you get to be really aware of it. And this, say you want to give example about some bad habits, and somebody said, in Egypt, or the Egyptian doing this, and there was some Egyptian in the audience. That is bad. So if you are going to give examples related to habits of group or nation or people, you have to make it abstract, or never mention by name specific group. You offend them. Okay?
If it's positive, it's okay.
Huh?
If it's positive, it's okay.
If it is positive, fine. You create competition. Okay? Say the Egyptians always charming and forgiving and humble and simple. It creates good impression, good image, and also kind of competition. Okay. And then the relevance. All right. Go ahead.
The elements and etiquette of the khutbah.
Okay.
The khutbah must consist of 2 parts with a short break between them.
That's number 1. Number 2.
The opinion that the khutbah must be in Arabic, regardless of the composition of the khutbah, should be in Arabic, following the sunnah of the Prophet. Before beginning, say Assalamu alaikum and sit down while the call to Jummah prayer adhan is made.
That is the technique. You say Assalamu alaikum, you sit, and the adhan.
Start the khutbah by praising Allah and reciting al-shahada, witnessing
So you have to say Alhamdulillah and to say Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan Rasulullah.
witnessing that there is no God but Allah and that Muhammad is His messenger. Invoke prayers on the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
And also, so the 4th one, you have to make salah on the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
Advise the worshippers to be conscious.
And the 5th one, you have, those are called pillars of khutbah. Praise, shahada, and prayers on the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and then make people basically tell or could recommend to them taqwa. This is, and that's become routine. Every khutbah, the khatib start with these things. Okay?
Recite at least 1 verse of the Quran in either part.
That's number 6. Recite 1 verse.
In either part of the khutbah to support a point or at any appropriate time during the khutbah. After finishing the first part of the khutbah, sit down for a half a minute or so.
And here, many of us, basically, we just do this sitting is short and it is bad. Because what do you tell the people? Huh? All right, you have to make istighfar too. How can you tell them when you didn't do it? They just sit, and that is okay. You told people make istighfar, and you didn't do it. So you have, while you told them to make istighfar, you have to sit and make istighfar, just like what you have told them. This is because we are rash. You see the clock, the time, and you are basically worried. Most of the time, even myself, I do that, and that is just basically wrong. Okay.
The topic of the second part of the khutbah can be a continuation of the first part, or it can be a new topic or just a dua. It is often effective to use the second part to summarize the khutbah and draw it to a conclusion.
That's the best way. I mean, you put all the ideas in the first khutbah, and it might be people already forgotten, or you might have too many explanations. Second khutbah, you get to summarize and give them the conclusions and action. Okay.
When starting the second part of the khutbah, begin with praising Allah and praying on the Prophet. End the sermon with a du'd, and then aqim as-salat, stand for prayer, signaling the muezzin to call the people to stand up for prayer.
What?
5 minutes.
5 minutes. Go ahead.
The khatib needs to decide on what type of sermon he would like to give, even if the mosque management might require the khatib to speak on a specific topic. There are 3 types of khutbahs suitable for Jum'ah: persuasive, inspirational, informational, and educational.
Now, types of khutbah. This is one way to classify it, but there is another way, which is could be the khutbah, basically politics, economy, social, moral, raising kids, education. That's another classification. So you get to be, basically you select. Here the style, which is any public speaker has to go either persuasive or inspirational or informational or educational.
Write it to be spoken, not read.
What?
Write it to be spoken, not read.
What do you mean?
Like not something you read, but something you
Okay, so basically you have notes, something that is going to enable you to speak it, not to read it. Okay?
Write the khutbah in outline form using headings to highlight points, ideas, supporting quotations, and statistics. Writing it in essay form forces you to read it. Choosing the topic and setting the objective of the khutbah. Time limit, the 25-minute khutbah. Because the attention span of the average person is 8 to 15 minutes long, and because most people have to go back to work after the prayer, I have found that 35 minutes is sufficient time for the entire Jummah prayer. This includes 25 minutes for the khutbah, during which, if the khatib is well prepared, a most effective sermon can be given. People will be impressed by meaningful and short khutbah. Methodology. The triple R approach outlined at the beginning of the chapter recommends rationality, relevance, and respect. In fact, this approach comes directly from the Quran and Sunnah, which considers a human being to be intelligent, rational, and worthy of respect.
Okay.
Once the speaker decides on the subject of the khutbah, it is imperative that he considers the following points. Understanding reality. In the first step, the khutbah writer must ask himself, how is the subject relevant to our lives today? What are the main questions, issues, and opinions on it? This stage is referred to as understanding reality deeply. Approaching the Quran. The second step is to start with the Quran, approaching it with an open mind and heart. This is very important because when looking at the guidance, we cannot start with a prejudiced mind.
Okay, here, how much time we have, Ya Maulana?
2 minutes, 3 minutes.
3 minutes? We're only 13 from 44.
Okay, then we need to continue after the salah.
We are 13 slides from 44 because
So
there are...
it's 2 or
It's at 2 o'clock.
2 o'clock. I'm sorry, then we have like 15 minutes.
Oh, well, so okay, we can finish this. Okay, let's try to finish this, and then okay.
The khatib has to use the Quran as a premise rather than just a justification.
Now, in the first paper I gave you, there are requirements that you pass in order to become khatib or to get this certification of khatib, and there were 2 essential areas. You have that one with you? Number 1 is tajweed. And number 2, leading the prayers, and number 3, fiqh, and the first one, which is called certification process, the paper I gave you. Yeah. Is it, there is something that Khatib has to pass?
Excellence.
2 essential areas, right?
Excellence in tajweed and excellence in public speaking.
Okay. Oh, the lunch is here.
Yeah, we can put it outside.
Okay, we'll just have the 15 minutes and finish. Okay.
It might be impossible for someone to be 100% neutral, but a Muslim must always subordinate his position to that of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The third stage is what we might refer to as understanding the purpose of wahi and the relationship between its implementation in time and place. Relating revelation to contemporary life as a source of teaching. In this stage, we try to apply our understanding of the Quran in letter and spirit to our realities.
That's why reality and the Quran, the creation and the revelation, and you try to basically see where it is needed and how can you project what Allah said and what reality is, or the problem that the current issue is there.
One theme, please. Sometimes the khatib delivers his khutbah without focus. He leaves you wondering about the topic and the relation between the introduction, body, citations, and the conclusion of the khutbah. One may say that he heard many good things without knowing what the khatib wanted to say. A khutbah such as this is without a theme is not for an effective khutbah. Focus on one theme, please.
Please.
Use enough examples, quotations, and statistics to support the argument. Help the audience visualize quoting the Quran, quoting hadith, and quoting other sources.
Now you remember khutbah yesterday was very good khutbah. The Shaykh talking about the hadith said if you have a belief and you have security and you have food for the day and you have as if you have the whole dunya, but إذا أصبح المؤمن معافا في بدنه آمن في سربه, you have health and you have security and you have food. Then he took each one of them and said so many ayah, so many hadith and so many ideas to support it. Then took the next one and did the same thing, and it was rich of hadith and Quran. And the third one, and then second khutbah, he summarized. And he went back to the hadith and he stated, the Prophet said, if you wake up in the morning and you are healthy, you are secure, you have food, you have gotten everything in this life. So, that is good idea to support. Okay, go ahead.
Operation.
Okay.
Conclusion, when you will leave the last and most remembered impression.
What's that?
When you will leave the last and most remembered.
So you really have to struggle. You want to leave lasting impression and idea. Lasting. And most of the khutbah never lasts, right? I assure you, I guarantee you. Most of the khutbah never lasts beyond the khutbah. And many people, few they follow and listen and understand and practice and go and think about it, but those are few. Majority, wallahi, by the next day cannot remember anything about the khutbah. And I have asked many times, not even one idea. Can you remind me what was it? Okay?
The conclusion.
So why one of it is, as we said, they were filtering through their frame of reference, and second one, the khatib. You have to have one thing that you make sure you put it in their pocket, force it anyway in their mind. Yeah.
The conclusion is probably the most important part of the khutbah. It is a culmination of the khutbah and its bottom line, if you will.
Don't worry about this.
Evaluating the khutbah.
Then we have, this is what we don't do at all. We need to do evaluation about these 5 points.
Number 1, the choice of topic. Number 2, relevance of the khutbah. Number 3, the contents. Number 3 again, the speaker and his preparation.
Oh my God.
Number 4, the length of the khutbah. And number 5, the benefit of taking.
That's your feedback, right? Oh my God. Okay.
Khutbah preparation point is, know your audience. Determine the need of the audience. Choose the topic.
Determine their need. It's not what you want or what you need. What they need to be learned or taught today, okay?
Set the objective of the khutbah. Decide on the type of khutbah. Start with the Quran and deal with one theme. Make a strong beginning introduction to generate interest and attract attention. State the objective and theme in the introduction.
State the objective, then the theme, and the introduction.
Use a systematic, logical, and chronological approach. Use simple language. Use as many examples and quotations as possible. Make a memorable and emotional conclusion.
This is make a memorable, emotional conclusion. If they get to feel, not just to hear, or to know, or to get the idea. They have to feel you in that statement.
Prepare the du'ud and revise and rehearse. What?
All right, let's go through the checklist.
Khutbah preparation checklist. Who is the audience? Can I find out more about my audience? Are there any special circumstances I must know about? What is my purpose? Persuade, inspire, inform. What appeal should I use? Rational, emotional. Is my style, diction, tone, and use of language suitable to the audience, purpose, and occasion? Is my outline complete and correct? Is my opening interesting? Have I developed the body with supporting information, Quran, Sunnah, anecdotes, examples, facts, statistics, and testimony by authorities, comparisons, and contrasts? Do I have a commanding conclusion?
Do I have?
A commanding conclusion.
What does that mean?
It means like, it summarizes everything, it gets the point across.
Okay. Getting the point across. Okay.
Have I revised and edited my sermon? Have I rehearsed enough? Will I dress especially for the khutbah?
Okay. Jazakallah khair. Now, only one percentage left, which is what is in Islam? Balaghul mubin. Balagh, what is balagh? Message. Conveyed message. Mubin, clear. So we are going to have a short presentation about clarity, requirements of clarity in Islam. Jazakumullah khair. We'll go for lunch and eat and